Static. The general definition is the lack of movement, action, or change. In physics, it is the resting forces in equilibrium. And then there is static electricity or charge. You also have the sound of static, that crackling, hissing noise that may resonate from a communication device. What about television static? What is television static? Truth about the background noise. Television static is the audible equivalent of static that viewers notice on the TV screen. In other words, this might be a bunch of random background noise, including asteroids hitting the atmosphere, lightning strikes, stars burning, and several other things that generate random radio signals. The fact is that the TV will give in the output of exactly what it receives, and if those received signals from the TV station are received, that is exactly what you will get in the picture. So, this static is the random noise that is being transmitted. So, what's been happening is, as people have been having encounters with the Hat Man and shadow people, there are people who are describing some of the apparitions they've encountered as static figures. They are appearing as that snowy, pixelated visual noise you would see on an old TV screen. I want to take a closer look at this because of the times we are living in. The veil may be thinning and people are dealing with strange phenomena like seeing grid patterns in the sky. When it comes to static, we are talking about electromagnetic energy, and the earth may be charging. So we get more of this type of electromagnetic phenomena, accompanied with the signature of spirits. So you guys can relax your mind with this. This is just for entertainment purposes. And what I'm about to present is theoretical and a bit fantastic. These are ideas that stem from what we know about physics, science, history, and the testimony of other people's experiences. You know, I tend to believe people when they say they've seen something strange of a paranormal nature. I just have to conceptualize the phenomenon to explain such a thing. So I want to read to you a quick story that comes from yourghoststories.com. Listen to this. I'll give you the shortcut version. This story takes place when I was just a little kid. It's in the house I grew up in, and am currently still living in to this day. For whatever reason, no matter where I went, only in my house though, I used to see things. I could be staring directly at them, or they would be in my peripherals. I used to see things, and I figured as a kid, if I can see them, everyone else can. But when I would mention them to my parents, or anyone for that matter, no one would believe me, and they would say they didn't see anything. The things I saw were figures of some sort. There was usually two of them, sometimes only one, but they were always in my house. They were human-shaped, I guess, They weren't shadows so much as they were silhouettes. Oh yeah, and they were made of what looked like TV static, but they didn't make a sound. No white noise, nothing. They would just stand there. They had arms and legs and a head, but no features. No eyes, nose, or mouth. No face at all. No hair on their heads. Absolutely nothing. They stood together like a couple side by side. They were really only in two spots I ever recall seeing them. One in the living room at the front door, and two in the frame connecting the kitchen to the dining room. From what I could recall, I assumed they were a man and a woman. I'll say that their figure or shape looked similar to a man and a woman. I don't know what I saw or if I even ever saw it, but I have talked about it to my parents and they remember me telling them about it when I was a kid. Anyways, that's all I can really talk about. So just from that short story, you should have a pretty good idea of what this person was describing. Now, what's interesting about this and other stories of the like, you notice that these entities don't bother anyone, at least in some stories, but they are just doing normal things, almost like someone's past life is replaying itself. They tend to appear in the same locations over and over again, right? So, are people dealing with spirits, or are they dealing with the signature of energy left behind by someone's spirit? But it is not actually the spirit itself. It's an imprint or impression left behind. I mean, most of us understand the concept of when something bad happens to someone somewhere, like in a house or apartment. Someone is murdered, and sometimes there is this negative energy left behind, and some people can feel it when they walk into the area. So, if that energy is left behind, what else is left behind? That's why in a lot of cases, you can't wash that energy off the walls. You can't burn anything, say a prayer if you want to, and nothing can get that energy out in some cases. You would probably have to use electromagnets to pull the energy out of that space. I know I just said something crazy, right? Well, I'm sure that spirit realm works on a type of physics. We just don't understand it. The static man or static people stories you'll find all have their own variations, as well as enough similarities to place them in the static man category. It's the description of the old TV static that they give, as well as the entity sometimes being green in color. Some people describe a mini tornado-like apparition, like a mass, but not exactly in human shape. Some say that these beings look as if they are two-dimensional, like a cardboard cutout of a static human figure. Sometimes they don't seem to be aware that you are there, and in other instances they seem to be very aware of this, and people will wake up to find them by their bedside. Again, I noticed that these beings like to pop up in doorways, hallways, areas that are frequently used as a pathway between the kitchen and dining room, the front doorway, the hallway, the path along the sides of your bed. So, static charges increase when the air is cold and humidity is low. And there does exist the idea that static electric fields could be related to paranormal activity. You know, due to the lights going on and off and electronic devices malfunctioning, white noise, static noise. not to give you guys nightmares or uneasy sleep, just something that came to my attention that not many people speak on. A very rare phenomena, probably indeed. Just something else for you guys to look into at your leisure. That's all for now, folks. There is more to come and more stories and ideas to explore. Remember to stop by woodwardentertainment.com and the Woodward Entertainment Store. You can follow me on Instagram at JAEWoodward. Everyone have a fantastic and static-free day. And until next time, stay awake, stay aware, stay safe. And I'll talk to you all soon.